I wonder if I'm going live right now. I might be. Anyways, let's do this live and then let's later add this into a recording for my podcast. I dressed up cute because, well, I just wanted to be cute for this episode of this podcast. This is for the Unintentional Porn Star podcast. Um, I'm still getting over a sickness, by the way. So, there might be some coughs and sniffles at times. And here we are. We are human and we are existing in very real ways right now. So, I've been taking a break from the podcast as I last talked about and posted about. That was either November, December, something like that. And as many of us have been saying, January has felt like an entire year, and it has. For so many reasons. I'm based in LA at the moment, and well, Venice, California, and LA, as you may have heard, there were the fires. I had lots of really great visitors, which was fun. I also ended up getting super, super, super sick and then sick again and then kind of like sick again. And that was super cute, which we love. And so I'm still healing and mending from that. And then, everything else that's coming forward in the United States and the world, subsequently the world, um, post inauguration and stuff. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into that. I want to get into some other things here. So, anyways, January has felt like an entire year. I'm coming back on here in kind of like a cute party dress. And the reason is because I am stepping into, I'm going to call it retiring from the podcast. And as I say that, I feel so many things come forward. I feel sadness. I feel like, wait. And I'm going to share kind of a little joke about retiring from the podcast for now. Well, I don't want to say for now, just in case it's like retiring, but you know how people retire from things and then they show up later, like bigger, better, and like, yes. And I kind of have a feeling that is going to happen. And I also can't guarantee that. And if you've been listening to the last few episodes of the podcast before my break, there's been a lot of spiritual expansion. There's been a lot of, there's always philosophy talks and talks on intellectualism and existentialism and things that I truly deeply love and get excited about. And on that sort of matter, I'm working to bring my focus into like the healing and the expanding into the healing. So, tarot, intuitive space, self development, everything that I have on RebeccasHealingHub.com, one on ones with people, if I didn't already say that, and stepping in as a healer. I'm also going to be doing fun things for myself, like looking into Reiki or continuing to develop my mediumship. And whether or not you believe in these things, this is something that it's really truly excites me. Um, I think learning is fun. I think it's so more than special and amazing that we can connect with things bigger than us and energies bigger than us. And for me, in all of my safe spaces, no matter who you are, what you believe, what you look like how you even feel, like none of that's judged, and in fact all of that is welcome. Like any space that I create is truly a safe space for all. And in the space, we also act out of heart. We act out of heart for ourselves, we act out of heart for others. And basically, in me, in this potentially fun pretend retiring, but like maybe truly retiring from the podcast for now, is exciting and sad. Because it's exciting because I'm expanding and I'm growing, and I want to place that focus into the expansion. And like, I want to go play a little bit amongst everything that's going on. And, so I want to expand. And also, what that means for me is that I'm expanding further into my healing, or past my healing and into my thriving. So that's like the exciting part, is that I feel for me, it's almost this level of like graduation, even though I absolutely love podcasting. And I do still have visions of like this podcast being here, me speaking to big guests, and I do foresee that possibly in the future. And for now, when I go through something, a point of expansion or elevation or um, ascension of some sort, right? Like I always want to create space for anything to happen, any feeling to come forward. And that's also what I do in my spaces with you and my one-on-ones. Anyways, yes, la la la. This one's a little harder for me to keep track of it because A, it's really emotional for me. And B, it's just emotional for me. C, it's emotional for me. And D, it's emotional. So it might be a little bit, you know, full of that, full of emotion. So, yes, we are retiring the unintentional porn star podcast. The best part about a podcast is that it exists online, just like my tape. LOL. Once it's online, it's pretty much there forever. So that's cute about my tape. My story will forever live on, and the podcast, with my consent and my excitement, will forever live on. Um, and there's beauty in that. I still watch the analytics of like who's listening and where they're listening, and it's really amazing to see where people are still tuning in constantly with every episode. And again, I'm not retiring because I don't love this. I do love this. I just am shifting and changing, and I want to create space and allow for that to come forward. So I guess it'll be like kind of like a fun little game. Like, is she actually going to retire? Or is she not? But at the same time, like, I know that I'm not like a WWE wrestler where it's a really big deal. You know what I mean? But like, I think I'm a big deal. I think you're a big deal. But anyways, all jokes aside, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm just like sitting in this dress and trying to be as elegant as possible, and it's a dress. And yes. Um I guess on that note, also to kind of tie back, I might have got a little sidetracked potentially with everything that's been going on in January and in the world. And I want to talk more about how we can maybe navigate this, or what some tactics or techniques you can do for yourself to maneuver through certain things in life and things that might be happening now or what have you. And self care is the really truly one of the greatest things you can do for yourself and do for others and do for the world. And I'm not saying that's the only thing. Like we as people, we all have our different like pulls and feels and vibrations and all of these things, right? And hopefully we can tune into our body and our intuition and our soul and ourselves enough to like really lean into all of these avenues that really we feel connected to. And in order to follow our intuition, in order to bring forward manifestation, in order to help heal, one of the main major things we can do for ourselves is care for ourselves, is self care. And when we are in a state of self care, we create safety for ourselves. We can create safety for ourselves. We can ground ourselves. We create space for creativity. We create space for new thought. We create space for expansion. We create space for unknown. We create space for like just the essence and life and things to come forward. And that is when we can think and respond and act really clearly. When we care for ourselves, we can care for others. And so amongst a lot of things that may be going on, depending on when you're listening to this or seeing this, take care of yourself, because you are your greatest asset. And when you are cared for, then others can be cared for by yourself. And I went through like a whole existential crisis, just like sort of recently with everything kind of going on, and I was also not feeling great because I was so sick. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like what is going on? And like there's so many things. I'm not going to get into every aspect of it, but it was just like, holy fuck, like what do I do? How do I navigate this? How do we, but also what, I'm crumbling. Like what? So seeing all of it, putting it together for myself and sort of witnessing myself in there, I went, girl, you're not taking care of yourself. Like no wonder you can't think straight. No wonder you can't step up for anyone. No wonder you're getting physically ill. No wonder blah, 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 blah. So, self care is a great form of love, resistance, all of these things. Oh, there's just like too many things to talk about and lots of things to focus on. And again, me leaning into the healing side, I also want to share that a little bit more just to sort of just maybe guide you if you want to move in that direction with myself or for yourself or with whomever. But intuitive tarot is something that truly has just like held my heart and uplifted my heart constantly. So I'm still moving forward a lot with that. Mediumship, still developing that. Um, my self development work in terms of like moving from survival to thriving, manifestation work. I'm going to be doing Reiki. I can't remember if I already said this or not, but either way, here we are, extremely human. Reiki and mediumship, all of these fun things, right? So I feel really greatly pulled and excited about that. My story doesn't go away. What happened to me isn't going away in this lifetime. The feelings that I had and have about it are with me for me to evolve and maneuver and heal and thrive within. And I also feel that there's other things coming up that, pardon me, I've been sort of like teetering around, but there's a reason I'm teetering around it. There could be reason for my story to come forward in a stronger light again. It will always exist. My Instagram at Rebecca Reinhart, it's always a mix of all of the avenues. Rebs the Wrecka is like more of my tarot and dance space. It's more of like my dance is spiritual to me. Tarot is spiritual to me. And so that's more like my like artistic and like my wild side. And Rebecca Reinhart's all of it. So, pardon me. So stay tuned for it all. I am always working to make sure what I'm putting forward, whether it's dance or tarot or anything, that it has some sort of way to make sense. It's a one woman show over here doing so many different things. Oh, also, I wanted to mention too, I have a bunch of like fun merch stuff and there's books. I have memoirs as well as like philosophy books on self-development. And I have one called The Purpose of Life, which I thought was pretty like intensely gutsy of me to do, but I feel really good about it. And I love it. And I think everything is a point of conversation. And whatever we hear and listen to, hopefully we can all take it in and see how it feels and either say this doesn't fit or it fits. So with everything in life, my books, my materials, my work, and also with everything that's going on, like really truly tuning into yourself and your body to see how it feels. Also, the pleasure work that I do with Aubrey with Unleash Your Authentic Pleasure, that still exists. We have an online course now as well, which is super exciting. So there's like constant things being done. And even Aubrey and I are creating spaces for ourselves to evolve. I'm really stepping in to evolve. And I really love this podcast. It's healed me in many ways, multiple times, over and over and over again. There's a bit of sorrow potentially retiring from this, and there's also excitement and intrigue and kind of like, girl, you're gonna be back someday, and it's gonna be huge or something. I don't know. So we'll see. And in the case of retiring from this really sacred, beautiful, playful, open space, I love you so much, and like I don't know how to thank you all for listening. Like, I really don't know how to thank you all for tuning in. And, some people that have listened have been able to step forward and say, hey, I need help. I've had the same thing happen. Which, to be able to connect with someone else who's experiencing that, like, you're not alone. Like, I don't even know how to say this. And I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but for either me to reach someone or someone, like through this experience and to help other people is like been such an immense. I can't even, like, I could get emotional thinking about that. Like, it's bigger than me. That was season 3 of the podcast. Like, I don't even know. It's like, ugh, so many feelings. And, this will continue to live on to do that. And I'm here also strengthening my connection with myself and my healing to be able to help people more and more and more. And that's just what I love, um, and what I feel connected to right now. I don't want to go. I don't know what else really more to say. I don't want to leave here because I'm like, wait, what? But Oh, what a time. What a story. What a thing to go through. What a thing to overcome. I'm pointing at myself and I'm pointing at you as well with anything that you may have been listening to and either had as a parallel or something very similar or just totally just listening for fun. But like it's just been such a big experience, such a big point of growth, such the podcast being such an incredible outlet. I started it, well, it was a friend's partner's idea or boyfriend's idea, and like thank you to them and thank you to my friend for season 1 and thank you for like all of the friends and all of the people that have been on since. And like I don't even know. I don't even know how to feel because it's just, yeah, here we are. Always, oh, I'm like gonna cry. Always reach out to me if you ever need any support. Always reach out. I will do my gosh darnest best to see your message unless, like, sometimes I get moved, not unless. Sometimes they get moved and I do check my like what are they, when they like kind of filter messages and you don't get a notification. I check those every once in a while. I will do my best to respond to you as soon as possible. I do have boundaries with my work and social media for myself to heal and nurture as well. And yet within that, like, always reach out because I'm here. And if I can't help you, but you reach out to me, I will send you somewhere that like someone can or something, right? So it's like always reach out, whether it's to me or someone, like always reach out. And as well, for me, you can always say, hey, you can talk about something you might have experienced if you need any sort of guidance, if you need to hear more. There's just so many things that are layered within this story of life and growth and expansion and the world. And just, yeah. Sending you so much love. And remember, that taking care of yourself is not only important, it's necessary, and we need you. We need you to be your beautiful, kind, caring, vibrant, loving, wild, however you feel within your soul as you are. Let's act out of heart space as much as possible. Okay. I'm just putting a heart thing if you're just listening. It's like the heart hands. I love you. I might see you soon. Reach out to me if you need anything. Oh, also, if anyone's listening and they like want to have me come feature, oh, yeah, if they want to feature me on their podcast, I'm still doing that. I'm still talking about my story. I'm still doing these things. I'm just placing my focus for now into this like healing expansion side of the spiritual world. But I'm still here kicking it and still have the story. It lives with me forever. So, oh, yeah, you're amazing. I'm gonna miss this space so much. Gonna miss this space. I can't even press on because I don't want to be gone, but I do because whatever, but I don't because I'm gonna miss you. Okay. I love you. Ciao.